Okay, now that we've got both sides cleaned up and we've got that little attitude we put in there, we're going to round over the top of the head. And to do that, I'm going to use the rounded diamond that we did using before. So put that in there. And we'll use it. We're also doing a little cleanup too around the head and the eyes. So we'll just use this to round it over. Doing a little care and maintenance on the edge of the head to get that flat square looking area off of it, round the head over. Give him a little bit of a round head instead of a flat head, so he doesn't have a flat top. Got everything put in together. The head's coming in. You can see where the head gets put in and everything flows off from the head of the bird, so that's what really counts. If you get that head correct, then everything else is going to be correct on the bird as well. It just flows off of it. Always make sure that you have the head correct on this thing. Alright, just keep smoothing this over. The back of the head here just flows off into the neck. See right there, this flows in. Just round it over with the rest of it. How I flow this back of the head into the rest of the neck, and then we'll continue rounding over the head. You notice at this point we're starting to lose a little bit of our center line, but that's okay because it's pretty much served its purpose. We're getting everything symmetrical. So we'll just keep rounding this over, smoothing it out, blending it off into the body. You can see the top of the head is starting to take shape. Getting rounded over. It doesn't have that flat look to it. It's got a rounded appearance to it. There's a little bit more that can be rounded in here. A little clean up. This around right here. Now take a look. I like to take a look, stop and take a look down on top of the head here to make sure that I've got it like it's, I've got to take some off right in here. It looks a little pointed, so I've got to pull wood off of this edge right here. symmetrical to the back. It's got to blend into the back of the head, or the back of the neck. Now look at that. Now then I've got to work this side now as well. I got to come this way. Take a look at it from the back side like that. You can see that it's pretty well rounded. That's pretty well rounded like that, as you can see. Okay, I think we're pretty much there. We can use a little sanding disc here in a little bit. We'll sand this out. But for the most part, we have the bird. The head's all rounded and shaped. It's ready to be put in the rest of the ear coverts and the cape. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sanding disc right now and sand this, a cone, and sand this just a little bit. And then we'll draw in all of the bib in here, which is the bib, which is this area here, and then the ear coverts and this area of the cape. So let me get the sanding cone on here, and we will sand that a little bit, take some of the rough marks out of it, and then we'll draw in those and cut those in as well. All the other pieces. This is that green sanding cone. I keep a lot of these around. If you didn't know it, a lot of my stuff I use is the 3/32 tools. I do have some 8 where I can change the insert, where I can change up to an 8 if I want to. Not this particular model, it only comes with one, but I have one of my other NSKs I can actually change out the switch between an 8 and it's 3/32. But for the most part, I use a lot of 3/32. This particular sanding cone will come with you can get it as a 1/8, or you can get it as a 3/32. This is the green one. It's a fine, I think it's like 220 grit or something like that. I'm sanding this all off, getting it, taking some of the hard lines out. Places where I've really dug in, getting a lot of the waste material out of the way. So I want to clean this up a little bit. Pretty much got that done right there. Now, as you can see, it's pointed up a little bit, rounded up. I'm going to get rid of the hard edges. I think we're just about there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out for right now, and I will draw in these other areas, and then we'll highlight those by grinding them or cutting them in. The bib we'll put in after we put in the ear coverts, which are these areas here. This is what we're going to put in first, these areas. And then we're going to come in and put in the cape, which is this area here, and then we'll put in the bib. So the first thing is the ear coverts. Those ear coverts, if you'll notice, they come off of this, right at the bottom of the mandible where that little V area is. This bottom one comes off. What they're showing here is a separate one. You can put this is like a secondary one where it has like a little roll in it. You can put that in or not. Sometimes you see it, and sometimes you don't in there. Right now, I'm just going to draw this one large ear covert right here. That's what you're going to see. So I start right at this base of the bill, right there. You can see that it swings down. But I'm not quite like that. Let's try again. It swings down like so. Sweeps up. And it comes up. It actually comes off the back of the head, like so. And that's the left side. And you notice it sticks up because the head has his head turned, so he scrunches it a little bit. Now the other one, we try to get them to match. It comes off the bottom. See where the bottom of the beak is right here. It's going to come off the bottom edge of the bill again. Sometimes I have to draw these 2 or 3 times to get them just right. We'll see how lucky I get again. And what I do is I take it and I look at it straight on this way, and I can tell by looking at it straight on that this one needs to come. It's probably down like it's supposed to be at this point. I need to look at the top of it, and I can tell that this one needs to come back just a little bit. So what I can do is I can drop those, don't erase it all completely, that way I'll know where I was at. And that way I can draw this down like so, and I'll come back a little bit further than I was. Like that. Now, when you look at these two, you're going to notice that this one's going to look a little bit different from this one. Mainly that's because this one is a little scrunched up. Now, what I do need to do is I need to drop this one down this way just a little bit more to make it match with this one. So, all I have to do is just erase it just a little bit. And just drop it down some more. Look at it as I go. And just kind of follow it in. There we go. And I look at it on the top, and they kind of match each other. You can see that they're going to be different because this particular side here, he's got his head turned this way like this, and so it's putting pressure on this and pushing it out and around rather than having where this one is stretched. As you can see, it's stretched around. And that's why they look different. Don't try to draw them this, making them straight back. They're not. This is head's turned, so it's perfectly normal to look this way. Now what we'll do is we'll put in the cape area, and you remember earlier we measured from the tail to the tip to find out where this wing had met the cape, and if where we have this already in there, hopefully that's still correct. We haven't moved it any by taking wood off or whatever, so we'll see how close we are, and we'll measure from the tail out. And we're still good. That point is good right there. That cape area, if you'll look on here, the cape area goes down the side and meets up with the shoulder. The shoulder that we put in right here. Right there. So what we do is it's kind of like a little rounded pointed area. We can just draw it up. Line it like so, like that. That's part of it. And then I can draw it up the other one. down on top of it, they pretty much match up. Now we put the bib in. And the bib, of course, is this little part of the chickadee. That's what defines the chickadee is his bib and his head, and the top of his head. That's why they call it the Black Capped Chickadee. So this little bib we're going to put in right here, and it falls just like you see it right there. Roughly comes off the side of the, right up underneath the eye on both sides. So what I try to do is just draw it around like so. Keep it kind of even. Now here's the center line coming down right here. So what I want to do is I've got this one kind of out of kilter right here. So I want to make them both look the same. So I can just draw this one up like that, back to that same point. Now they look the same. We're going to have a little bit of out right here because remember he's got his head turned, so he's pushing everything in at this point. Alright, we got that defined. We've got the ear coverts defined. And coming off of those ear coverts, and it doesn't show it on here, but you can if you want to. You can come off right here and define just a little bit of that crest of the head, which would come off something like this.